Hey guys, so in today's really quick video, I'm going to be going through some Procreate's best feature that they recently introduced. I'm not going to go through all the features that they launched or introduced. I'm just going to go through the ones that I really liked and I think are really good. So without any further ado, let's just jump right in. Also, if you hear some background noises throughout this video, excuse me for that. Alright guys, so the first feature that I really liked is single touch gesture. Now before I go ahead and explain what it is and show you guys how that works, I'm just gonna show you how to actually enable it. So what you have to do is you have to go to Procreate in your settings tab for your iPad. Go to Procreate and then you have to just scroll downwards and just enable single touch gestures companion. Just enable this feature and just go back to Procreate and this window will appear. So the reason why I really like this feature is because you don't have to really do different gestures to perform different functions on Procreate, if that makes any sense. So let's just say that you want to zoom in. So usually you would zoom in by pinching your fingers in and out. But when you enable single touch gesture, you just have to tap on zoom and that is the only function you'll be performing after that. With that I mean, if you want to paint over it, you cannot really paint over the canvas because this little zoom function is turned on, or this little button is turned on. And similarly with move, you can just move your canvas and you cannot really paint on the canvas, and that is the main thing. Sometimes when you're moving your canvas and you end up painting over your artwork accidentally, this is for that. Even though that's not a big issue, but that does interrupt your painting process. So you can just move your canvas without painting over your artwork. Similarly, just undo or redo are also right here. Even though you don't need those right here, we already have it on the left hand side, but I don't know why they kept it in this little window, but that doesn't really matter to me. And yeah, but it's easy to have your undo redo little function keys right at the top. I prefer those there rather than on the left hand side. I just kind of don't like it, so whatever. So just to enable it, you just have to tap onto the button and it will enable whatever function you were using. So that's one thing that I really like, and also fit the canvas by tapping on fit canvas. Alright guys, so another feature that I really liked is stroke stabilization. Now people might confuse it with Streamline as well, so I actually went ahead and kind of tested brushes with increased streamline versus increased stabilization, and I'm just going to show you the same. So I'm just going to pick up a random brush, which is technical pen, and I'm first going to make sure that streamline and stabilization is not on, so just to see how the lines are coming out. So as you guys can see, this line is so bumpy and so not perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna increase streamline up to maybe 31% just to see what happens now. And I'm just gonna create a straight line. So the line is less bumpy, obviously, because I increased streamline. Now I want to see what is the difference between streamline and stabilization. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna decrease streamline and just gonna increase stabilization up to 31%. And now I'm just gonna draw a straight line. Now as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can notice, I'm just gonna fucking hide all of this. So I don't know if you guys can notice, but the brush stroke with increased stabilization looks more defined in my eyes, even though you cannot really tell a difference between the one created with streamline and the one created with increased stabilization. But the feel of it, I'm talking about the feel of it, when you draw with increased stabilization, it feels more natural and effortless as compared to the brush stroke that I drew with increased streamline. It just didn't feel natural, to be honest. So I think streamline is good when you are a calligraphy artist or you do lettering. Then yeah, streamline is perfect. But when you want to draw something or create an artwork which is not related to lettering or anything of that sort, then I think stabilization is good to go. Now you can actually apply stabilization individually to separate brushes by tapping onto the brush and going to stabilization settings, or you can just apply stabilization to the whole brush library. And to do that, you have to just go to preferences and then go to pressure and smoothing, and then from here you can increase or decrease stabilization according to your need, and then it will be applied to the whole brush library. So yeah, it also has more features, which is motion filtering and filtering expression, but I haven't explored those yet. So but yeah, stabilization was something that I really liked, and I'd recommend keeping it around 30%, and it will work pretty well that way. The next feature that I really liked is obviously the cards, the color palette cards. Now it shows you all the color cards palette by palette. So let's just say this is the palette which is selected right now. You can see that blue little tick mark, and I can see all the cards for all the colors that I have in that palette. And the thing that I really love about these cards is that they actually mention the name of the color itself. If you want, you can also change the name of the color card if you want, but I think the names are pretty accurate in itself, so you don't really have to do that. And yeah, I really like these. Obviously the icons are larger as compared to the compact palette, and yeah, it also gives you the name of the color, and which will help you if you want to create another palette in any other software to actually find the colors. So that's that. The reason why I liked it is because they actually provide you with some name. So yeah, that was my favorite part. The other feature which is related to color is color description notification. Now to enable it, what you want to do is you want to go to global settings, which is settings for your iPad, and then you want to go to Procreate again. Then you have to turn on color description notification, and when you go back, you pick up a color. The color name will pop up right at the top. So let just look at it once again. So I just tap onto it, I just pick up the color with the color picker, and it actually provides me with the name of the color like that. So if I go on the black, it says black. So I really like that. So if you are somebody who's like constantly creating palettes in other softwares as well, then I think this feature, the color card feature and the color description feature also are pretty good, because they are actually providing you with names, which is really necessary when you're creating a palette on any other software. And color codes also are kind of helpful, but they don't have color code yet. But yeah, name of the color works just fine. So that's one thing that I really liked about this feature. The other feature that I really liked is page assist. So page assist is basically one layer is equal to one page, and you can actually export these pages into a PDF format. And I really liked this feature because finally you can create a PDF on Procreate and export it into a PDF format. So if you are somebody who works on comic books or stuff like that, then I think this feature is really good for you. And there's nothing much to explain, honestly. New layer is equal to new page, and then you can export it into a PDF format. So there's nothing much to explain. It's just that I really liked this feature. And the last feature, which is obviously the 3D, and I actually created a whole video on this feature only because I wanted to explain you guys how this works and how you can actually, start coloring 3D models on Procreate when you don't know how to sculpt 3D models. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I will link it down in the description, and I'd highly recommend you guys to watch that video because it's really satisfying you guys to really paint a 3D model on Procreate. So if you're somebody who is into 3D art and you sculpt 3D models on other software, then yeah, this feature is really great to really paint those and to really set the environment and lighting and everything. Like, I have explained everything in detail, so I'd highly recommend you guys watching that video. But I think this feature is one of my best because I kind of like having fun with these little 3D models, and I didn't sculpt this female head at all. I actually downloaded it for free from the internet. Again, if you want to know how I did it and how I downloaded this 3D model for free and how to import and how to color and everything, then just go ahead and watch that video. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this really quick overview of some really cool features of new Procreate update. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.